Okay, for Heartbreak. How do I make this pen thicker, Chad? Heartbreak is so simple, dude. Okay? Your heart is broken because you are not the same I anymore. Your I used to be with your ex, and you used to be having all these memes with her and inside jokes and a whole world you build with her, and that's your identity. Oh, this is hard. Okay, that's your identity. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. So now that your identity has been crushed, you're like, who am I? And do I need her to feel whole again and feel my I? Well, your I is supposed to be self. It's not supposed to be with another person. The fact that you're not whole is why she probably left you. She's going to go to a whole whose I is just him. And how is his I going to be just him? It's because this career bricks he lays down shows ambition, which means return on investment for the woman who wants to protect her kids. Even if she doesn't want kids, she's thinking about it. Okay, they always think about it. So this guy lays his bricks and he builds a castle, an empire, and a career. Right? His identity is alone without her. Okay, so this Chad, let's say Chad here. It's rarely a Chad. Chads don't build castles, but let's say he's a smart Chad, like yours truly. This Chad who built his I, right? He has a whole career. That means status, network, and looks. The SNL, right? Saturday Night Live. Because he's got his status, network, and looks. And remember, if you fill the cup for status, network, and looks, even 25%, you do better than someone who fills their cup on looks 100%. So a bodybuilder isn't going to take your girl. It won't happen. But now check this out, okay? If your internal desires are not matching the external, that's how you get depressed. So if these don't match, equal depression. Okay? That's where soul nourishment comes in. That's why religion is so important, because even if you don't believe in religion, it fills up the mythology in your head that protects you, the canopy of spirit. And that is a psychic phenomenon that's real. This is why like people like Khabib feel like God is their coach and they can go further. Or Jon Jones, he can just repent and go back to whooping ass because he has this the God coach psychic phenomena, which is like a real thing. This is not like hocus pocus. This is psychology. Sorry, guys. So this I is your internal desires not matching your external, and we see this in a lot of Ferrari owners who are depressed. If you've got a Ferrari, it means your external is awesome. You're making a lot of money in the external, but it's not who your soul is. And that means you have fed into your persona the most. And persona, what is persona? Persona is the part of the psyche. It's not the self, man. It's persona is the mask of who you are. It's the compromise with society. It's your politically correct mask. It's your fake opinions, persona. Now, if you can somehow focus this persona down here, look at this. All right, this is the best way to do it. I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff, guys. I hope you can see all this. All right. I'm gonna add a new star. So screenshot that, and you're good. These symbols are just gonna help you remember what I'm saying. You don't really need to screenshot it. Okay. So here's how it works. Okay. We'll break down your depression. There's yourself, which is the real you, right? With your astral soul, desires, all that. Then there's your ego, which is the part of you that you are most conscious about. And it's basically, if the ego fuses with the self, you start thinking you do things that you can't do. And you crash and burn. But what you're supposed to do is, here's your persona, your compromise to the world. That's the mask, usually right there. Sorry. Okay, and then we have collected unconsciousness, which we'll say is your deeper dream thoughts, right? And this is where your shadow and suppressed self is. Okay, so persona is what you're showing the world. This ego is what holds the sword of will to will things into action. And what you're supposed to do is, for your shadow traits, right? The traits you've suppressed, like I'm weak. Now look at this. You're weak, but let's say your persona tells people you're strong. I'm strong. The greatest thing you could do is use your ego to will being strong, maybe gym or whatever you got to do. And that way you bring, with the will, you bring this strength into the ego. And your ego gets larger and larger. And by the time you're 70 years old, you're a kung fu master who's a genius, who your point is to expand this ego. You feed it with experience, because the ego thinks it can do things without experience. No, you got to feed it. And that's integrating your shadow traits of weakness. You go get the experience of strength and you put it into you, and then it becomes in your total self who you are. You understand? And we're not going to talk about personal unconscious, because I don't think that's going to help you guys right here. But it'll be right here. You're going to lose all your viewers. I don't really care, bro. I'm rich. Okay, does that make sense?